All right, we're almost there. All right, BlaKBox Radio. We are in the box. We're in the today is the BBR Spotlight, and I love this series because we spotlight community leaders, community events. We talk about organizations. So this is a community thing today. So we're gonna spotlight Everett Winchester. So Everett, Brother E is doing a lot out here. I mean, this guy is doing it all, and he's out here building Black people and pouring into young people. So we got so much to talk about, Brother E. Welcome to the box. Welcome to BlaKBox Radio. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. And first of all, as I said before the show started, it's just an honor to be on your platform. I follow you so much, and this is just a privilege for me. It's a blessing.
Well, I love that. See, that's how you start, bro. We about to do the tools to how you start. You start out with a compliment. There you go, bro. I'm telling you, you're gonna be interviewing me.
No, you're good.
You're doing a good job. Now, number two is I'm gonna introduce myself. I'm Queen from BlaKBox Radio. I'm a host at BlaKBox Radio, and we are a media platform for Black excellence. I want to start and just take a little pause and say, yesterday, 9/19/21 was the birthday of BlaKBox Radio. Wow. We started on 9/19/19. So we are 2 years in, and we are so blessed and so happy and just to be here, just to be able to connect with Black people, uplift Black people, and just be in a space amongst Black people. It's just a beautiful thing. So I appreciate all of the birthday greetings for BlaKBox Radio. My birthday is actually 9/17, so we all Virgos out here.
Oh, wow.
So we have our birthday in the same week, but so many people shouted me out, and I just want to say thank you. BlaKBox Radio is growing. Keep growing with us. Keep coming with us. And tonight, we going in. We are going in. So we're going to talk community first, Everett.
All right.
So tell the people first, tell us about you, what you do, who you are, and let's go from there.
Awesome. Well, my name is Everett Winchester. I'm the owner of Real Truth and Power Nonprofit LLC. We provide powerful information to uplift the Black community with health, wealth, and knowledge of self-information. I'm also a basketball and football coach currently now, and I am the co-founder of a basketball program in Baltimore called Team Rumble. You can reach us at teamrumblefamily.com. But more importantly, my lifestyle and the way I live and everything I go through is a Garveyite, Marcus Garvey organization. I am the secretary and treasurer of the UNIA Division 106, Barker Clark in Baltimore, Maryland. And just to give a tip of that, hopefully you guys can see my T-shirt with the Garvey in the middle. Our division is named after Hannibal Barker, the great general. They used to come down with the elephants, and of course, our great scholar, John Henry Clark. So that's very important that we always explain what our division is named after. So we want to teach our people to learn and be intelligent, but we also want to let people know that, hey, we're a little militant too. You're not going to be messing around with Black people. So I like the name Barker Clark. It's a little powerful.
Listen, I'm with you on that. I love it. Race first out here. That's what we at.
Right. Race first.
All day. So listen, so in the community, we both in the community, we know what's going on in Baltimore. We both got our hands really in the community trying to do what we can to make our community better. But in Baltimore, we have all of these ancillary issues, bruh. We have education issues. We have recreation issues. We have political issues. We have violence issues. I can go on and on. We have single parent issues. We have young people not being parented issues. I mean, because you're a coach. So you come across this with young people. It's so much going on in Baltimore City. But then, a lot of times we don't talk about the greatness of Baltimore City. Baltimore is a beautiful city. It's a city of lakes, a city of parks, a city of Black people. Let's talk about it. So Baltimore has a lot of, it has these reciprocal things going on in Baltimore. But you in the community and being a coach and being a person who's definitely cares about the outcome of Black people. What do you think in Baltimore should be one of the first things that we should look to try to change? This violence is out of control.
It's out of control. Dealing with a lot of the youth as you see them grow up. I do a lot of intervention as well, as far as, trying to squash a lot of beefs, especially if it's somebody that I've coached, or know their parent or whatever. We do a lot of that as well. So having the young men learn how to control anger and how to deal with things. And, you know, I think it was the movie Friday. I always say that line, hey, once you take a life, you can't bring them back. You know, you beefing with a guy and then you see the guy go to jail and then 12 years later he gets out and y'all cool and you can laugh about your beef. But once you take a brother out, you know, you can't bring him back. So it's important for our young men to just start understanding the value of life, understanding how to love each other as well. You know, I think that's a major component that we're missing in our community. Black on black love, you know what I'm saying? Instead of black on black crime, respecting each other, you know, loving each other. You know, we're quick to rep a neighborhood, we're quick to rep a set or a gang. But we're not representing red, black, and green and uniting black people. You know what I'm saying? It's saying, hey, we together and how we need to uplift. And with coming together, I think the youth just needs to value economics a little more. The only people that we really see that are business owners right now that are successful sometimes is a drug dealer. You know, it's not like back in the day you saw the guy with the corner store pull up with the BMW or the businessman looking sharp with the suit. So these young kids are trying to figure things out, and it's a community effect because we're not teaching proper economics. We're not teaching about building black businesses, supporting black businesses. I just had a conversation with a friend. We were talking about the youth and the violence and stuff. And he was saying, man, you know, we need more businesses to hire the youth. And I was like, yeah, but black people got to learn how to respect each other and be patient with each other. You know, black businesses mess up like white businesses, but Chick-fil-A messes my order up. And I think they got great customer service, but I continue to go back. McDonald's will mess your order up, but you go back. So give the black business time, work with the owner and stuff like that. But all of these little things add up to a lot of devastation in the black community, not knowing proper economics, how to invest, how to save, how to start businesses, how to support black people's businesses, and more importantly, just how we're learning. You mentioned education, having other people teach us their system instead of our own people teaching us not only the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3 equals, you know, the 1 + 2 = 3, the math and the English, but also the cultural aspect behind it. A lot of times, a lot of people that I talk to when I'm coaching, you know, I come with the Jordans. You'll see me with my Air Jordans, but the next minute you see me with my RBG shoes. So the kids looking like, I know coach is cool. I saw him rocking the Jordans, but what's this RBG thing? So I can educate them and talk to them. And, you know, so hopefully we can get a lot more of our own school systems, our own plans, and so we can educate. It means a lot for a lot of these kids that don't have a way and don't have the mentality to search and learn.
Well, you know what, Brother Everett? I think I'm going to step on a few toes.
Okay. Uh-oh.
But that's what we got to do sometimes, because because when I look at the ticker of who's dying, it's not only young people, it's 45-year-olds. Yes. It's 56-year-olds. It's 70-year-olds. When I look at even some of them, the violence are being put upon them. That is happening. But when I see these bunch of 40-year-old and 50-year-olds and that are dying and they're in this violent movement also, we always look that we have to do things with the youth. But what's going on with our root? That's right. You know, that's right. And when I say that, I'm talking about a tree has a root and then it has fruit. Our youth is the fruit, and our older folk, we the root. And if the root is rotten, that's right, what you expect from the fruit? That's right. And so I'm looking at, I see men in their 50s and the 60s, hat to the back, pants under their behind. I'm not saying that makes you a bad person. I'm saying that in my life, I saw older women, and now as I get older, I mature, and I have something to move up to. But I see women in their 50s now wear the same clothes the girls in the 20s. So everybody's naked. So now that's normalization of this body image foolishness that we're going through as women, and these eyelashes and these nails. Here I go again. I'm stepping on toes, but it's the truth. We got to step on toes. We're so busy building the outside and we're crumbling inside. We're rotten inside. And so I always hear when I talk to my community folk, and we always go, well, you know, we got to teach the youth. But yes, our youth has issues, but the youth came from something, and something's rotten. where when we got 11 and 12-year-olds carrying guns and getting shot, 8-year-olds, something's broken. And also drugs. We know drugs is taking families out. Let's be clear.
Systematically, not to cut you off, Queen, systematically we've been destroyed. You know, I was talking, me and we was just reading a book, shout out to Dr. Ma'at at our book club. And it was talking about, you know, how white people do things differently than black people, how they invest and how they help out each other and stuff like that. And our mentality is a little different. We don't know, you know what I'm saying? And so somewhere down the line, we lost a lot of culture. Somewhere down the line, our elders dropped the ball and it fell on us. And because we didn't have the proper lessons, we're not out there actually being the best role models, the best teachers, you know what I'm saying? So we got to collectively start going back and start focusing on some things. And it starts with being culturally educated, you know, to understand that, you know, this is not good for us. This is not our culture to act this way, to go be violent. You know, if it was our culture to be showing up violent and stuff like that, we'd be running the world right now. It's the other person's culture.
Not even that, the world wouldn't have begun. If we were the first perpetrators, when we're the first people, we would have killed everybody.
That's right. That's right.
So it had to happen with the last folk.
Exactly.
They had to bring it because the world was already established.
Exactly.
Who were the last people?
Exactly.
The Europeans.
Exactly.
That's what it happened with. And
listen,
be honest. Listen, look at history.
Right.
Don't get mad at me. I'm here to step on toes tonight. Brother Everett called me and said, step on all them toes, Queen.
Let's get them. Let's squash them.
Let's squash them.
Let's hurt some feet. But you hit it right on the button. And you know, these people, these Europeans, are the ones that's giving us the system to teach our kids.
Absolutely.
They're erasing all of our education. It's really funny when you start talking about Kemetic studies. You don't see a lot of Kemetic studies at Morgan or Coppin. They're learning true ancestral Kemetic studies in Cornell University and
that's something.
That's crazy, right? That they're learning more about us than we know about us. I went up to in fact, our sergeant at arms, brother Anthony, shout out to him. He was at a place, I don't want to say the name, but he was greeting some brothers, and he went up to a brother and he was like, race first, brother. And the brother was like, nah. So he went up to him again, race first, my brother. And the brother wouldn't. He like, nah. And he was kind of hurt by that. And I'm like, you got to understand, we're psychologically damaged to where a lot of people, they don't feel comfortable saying, let's put our own focus on us. Let's love us. Let's do for us. Let's empower us. They want to love everybody. They want to do because they've been taught in this system by their oppressor. So one of the things, like you say, not only do we got to get back on point and start making sure that we're educating and learning our culture and making sure the youth know it, we got to psychologically relearn and get back into the way it was when we were younger.
Absolutely. We got to. And I think a lot of time that's what a simulation does, though. A simulation is the movement to assimilate to something that you're not used to. Right. You're not assimilating to your own stuff because you don't have to assimilate that. Right. So if there's a simulation in the building, you're taking on other stuff or somebody else's stuff.
That's right.
Am I right on that?
You on point.
So within that assimilation, I think we lost who we were. And when you assimilate into something that particularly is no proponent of what you are, you're going to lose yourself. Yeah. But we got to look at where we are because our children are lost in a lot of ways.
That's right.
And the adults are lost too.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. We 3-4 years in this thing. We 3 years, 4-year generations right now into this America. So we are well trenched into these European society. So we really and listen, I'm not attacking anyone's society. I'm saying that it doesn't sit well with the African.
No, without a doubt.
If you don't like that, that's on you. But it's the truth. It doesn't sit well with the African. And that's what we got to look at. What will make us go forward? It's not to hurt someone else or attack anyone else. It's for us to go forward. That's what Race First is looking at yourself and cleaning you up.
That's right. And that's a major part of what we have to do. We got to clean each other up. We got to go inside and start, and I'm glad you said step on toes, because when you pushing forward a movement, a lot of times they say we're militant in the UNIA. Like, I said, why you say, oh man, you on that black stuff?
Yeah, on that black stuff.
My personal friends tell me that sometimes.
They tell me that too, bro.
You know, you mean you on that? Here we go.
Here we go again.
You know, we could be talking about the basketball game, and I bring up something. You know, they disrespecting the brother, but you know, you know, I gotta be that way. And they like, why you all? I said, man, that's my lifestyle. We gotta put ourselves first and gotta start reorganizing things and start educating our youth and start building ourselves up. Yeah. And a lot of times we go forward and we just live in life and not even worried about that. But we always get the back end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? We can't go forward unless we start coming together and uniting. And that's a huge Marcus Garvey philosophy. And we really have to start learning that. And you got to remember, they got Marcus Garvey, they got Martin Luther King, they got Malcolm X. So a lot of that stuff hurt us as well, because our leaders, they take them out. Every time we have a leader, they take them out. And then we following the wrong so-called leaders sometimes that are morally incorrect. So we got a lot of work to do. And it's just about, you know, having people just to dedicate and love Black people and then put forth the work, most definitely.
Well, I think a lot of times we've been taught a little about having a leader. Mm-hmm. We're in a country that is so multifaceted, so many different things. People live in all different areas. They don't experience the same thing. People in Washington State does not experience what I'm experiencing in Baltimore City.
That's right.
And so Black people in Washington State, the small amount that's there is going to be different than these heads over here in Baltimore City.
That's right.
So for us to even, because there's no white leader, there's no Spanish leader. Why aren't we all being great, have leadership in our families? Our men, first of all, they should be our first leader. Let's start there. Let's let our men stand on a pedestal and start leading us. And then the women who are just magic come in and support and make this thing so much more stronger that we can have these mini leadership camps, because we looking for one person to lead all these Black folk. It's not happening.
You touched on something very important too. And I think that's culturally where we've lost a lot of. And I always say culturally a lot because like you said, the Black woman is so powerful.
She is.
She's a god to me. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, she's a god. She's the mother of civilization. Yep. But also the Black man is a powerful element. You know, there's a reason why Francis Cresswell said there's a reason why, you know, the sports balls are colored and they smoking on the brown cigars. One of our great scholars, he was like, that's that Black man power that they yearning for. But we also have to understand that, you know, when it comes to that, this system has broken our family up. Yeah. They have our Black males and our Black male and our Black men and sisters going at each other. Yeah. We got more pimps and hoes than husband and wives. Our family structure's damaged. The music that we listen to, I get on people a lot because I'm really into hip hop music. But I grew up on a different kind of music. You know, if you rapped about the street, it was something that you saw or you used to live. But you trying to be a rapper and educate and get out of that. Now there's people talking about how much they get high on the record that they play on that, you know, it's like
that's all they talk about, taking that pill and drinking that syrup and
drinking that syrup. I got all these hoes, you know, I'm macking, you know, it's crazy. So I think that we have to really start to understand the value of loving each other, respecting each other, and getting back our family structure is real important. When I talk to a lot of the young kids, and that's a lot of what I see. Like, you may have a single mother or even a single dad, because a lot of people think in our community it's a element that we think that their Black fathers aren't involved with their kids. That's
why I say single parent, because there's a lot of Black men doing it out here.
It's a lot of Black men doing it, but I just think that the element or the elephant in the room is what happened to us getting along together and working things out. And again, it comes from that society just crushing us, being in this system that's designed to break up our families and have us going at each other. And that's a lot of confusion as well.
You're right. And that's why I never want to attack from the outside, because I know this is in-baked trauma.
Yes.
This is trauma that's baked in.
It's trauma. You said it right. That's the critical role.
Trauma. And then on top of that, you have a system that continues to perpetuate the trauma. And so it's an engine that continues to go on and on, because people say, oh, that happened 100 years ago. But see, trauma doesn't have a timetable. That's number one.
That's right.
And number two is when you have a system that continues to perpetuate oppression, then the trauma just becomes to pack itself over generation, over and over and over. So
That's
what
it.
we see is behaviors and triggers from trauma. I get that. I totally get that. But then the ones like me and you, we see and know that there has to be a way that we can change the paradigm. And I see you doing, you say you coach, right? So that's your way of pouring into young people.
Right.
Okay. And so you're part of the UNIA. You know, we're getting to that. I need to know what
Okay.
that is. Tell me what UNIA stands for. Help me out.
All right. So the proper issue explanation is UNIA-ACL, and it's Universal Negro Improvement Association African Communities League. It's the organization started by the Honorable Marcus Garvey. So when you hear people flying the red, black, and green, and you saying race first, that started from the UNIA. It started from Marcus Garvey. And so all of his philosophies and his teachings, we put forth when we go out and we try to educate our community on how to be self-sufficient, you know, things that we're talking about today. But also a lot of people need to understand that the UNIA is just not an organization. It's a lifestyle. And it's actually Marcus Garvey left us a constitution, a government to follow by for Black people. And that's very important. You know, he has a constitution that we debate over and argue over and try to change things. And he left us a way that Black people can actually govern themselves. So it's a lot of things that Marcus Garvey, set aside for his people to learn and study that he left us. So we're just really into uniting our Black people all around the diaspora. If you're an African person of African descent, you're already a member. Every member of African descent is a member of our organization, whether you're active or not. You know, we don't separate. We work with other organizations. And our main goal is just to unite Black people economically, politically, and everything else, so we can have our own and, stop depending on someone else. Marcus Garvey was a powerful, powerful person. You think about the early 1900s having his own cruise line.
That's what I was I wanted you to go into how amazing and next level Marcus Garvey was.
And Marcus Garvey had established so many businesses. In fact, when you were members back in the day of the UNIA, if you were part of, like, say, our division, the local Baltimore government, you got paid. I mean, he had stock in the UNIA. This brother was doing stuff way back in the day. They had to shut him down. You had to shut him down. A lot of so actually a documentary out now, and I can't think about it. It's about Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X. I believe it's on Hulu, but I'm not sure. And they talk about Elijah Muhammad, how Malcolm X's parents and all of those people were followers of Marcus Garvey. And actually the Nation of Islam basically took the steps that they are now from our organization. So shout out to the FOI, but what he did back then, it was so powerful. The businesses, the teachings, the building up one of the greatest all-Black organizations globally ever. I mean, no organization to this day has had many more members than he had back then. And the funny thing is, the way they got him was they got him in court.
Yep.
And he defended himself and actually won the case. People don't know that. John Edgar Hoover, that devil himself, said, "You're going to let the tiger go." The
devil himself
say, "You're going to let this tiger go?" And they gave him some charges. So a lot of people in our community, they think that he was a hustler. You hear him say that he was no, that's that other version. They took him down the best way they could. And when we lost, again, when you start talking about a people that's been in bondage and have lost so much culturally, when you start talking about leaders, because we were talking about that, it was those people that stood up and fought became our leaders. And so when you wipe them out, it brings a sense of we don't want to fight.
Yeah,
the consequences of it.
But that is why you do that. That's why you take the leader out. Because if you take somebody out that no one has no respect for, okay. But you take the leader out, everybody like, okay, we're looking at that. So that is why you take out a leader.
Exactly.
And Marcus was he was
powerful. So Right now, I actually have some books here. Right now, if you're a local officer, we have a training with our Atlanta brothers. We're reading the book, Message to the People, The Course of African Philosophy. A lot of people don't know Marcus Garvey had schools where he taught. He had different schools where he taught the community, but he had also a school where he taught his officers. Of course, the Race First book that I keep by my side. A lot of people say Race First, but people don't realize that started with Marcus Garvey and his philosophies and opinions. So, Marcus Garvey is huge. Marcus Garvey is huge.
You're teaching, E. I love it. Teaching.
We call the month of August we call the month of August the month of Mosiah. The month of Mosiah, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. His birthday was August 17, 1887. In August, our organization introduced the red, black, and green flag. Yeah. In August, we started the Constitution and everything. So August is a huge month for any Garveyite, especially when you talk about Haiti, the revolution and everything. So many powerful things in August. But we call August the month of Mosiah. And so many things that happened in August. But one of the main things is just the UNIA implementing that red, black, and green flag, our Constitution. We have our convention. So many things a lot of people don't know about. And I always tell people when they talk about, hey, man, I want to learn more about the UNIA-ACL. What's it mean to be a member? It means you got to learn. You got to really commit to studying. You got to really commit to learning how to better yourself and to better the Black community. It's not an organization. This is a movement. It's a lifestyle. You have to really be all in to be a Garveyite. So I'm blessed to call myself a Garveyite, and I'm blessed to say I still got a lot to learn. I've taken like my third Constitution class. I still don't know it all. But you learn something more every time, and elders teach you. And we just got to bring that back. And I was just talking to an elder the other day, a powerful elder Garveyite, and he was dropping gems on me, telling me this and telling me that. And I'm like, hold on, brother. Where you been at? Like, come on back. We need you. Like, don't just tell me. I need you in the forefront, So, it's a lot of things that Marcus Garvey did, but mainly just not only the education part, but he was such a powerful business person. He was, and that means a lot to me. I'm a business owner. We all need to focus on business, but you learn a lot. People don't take Black-owned businesses seriously, but you got to think, if you're a Black person, 9 out of 10 times you're going to hire the people around you that are Black. That's very crucial. That's very important. If you living in a hood and you create businesses in a hood, you're going to hire people in the hood, so it's very important that his philosophy of economics, and it's something that I think that culturally we've lost, as well as being strong. Yeah, we
definitely lost it. We haven't, because when we want to set up business, we don't even want to set up in the hood.
Exactly.
We want to set up around folk who don't even want us around.
Exactly.
So we see the hood, which has always been the generator of everything in America. What was our hoods? We've generated swag, style, language, everything economically that they want to actually be a part of American lifestyle. It gets love in the hood. But we leave the hood and we go set up our business around other people and hire other folks so we can running after that money. And I understand it, but we got to look at how maybe going in neighborhoods and setting up a neighborhood.
Yes.
Bringing your friends.
Yes.
Moving in, restoring comps, building out the commercial pieces on the ends. We got to look at ways to make generators for ourselves and for our people. We cannot, if this pandemic didn't tell us enough, if you don't start getting you some food or finding a way to get your own food, you're going to be hungry.
We gotta be self-sufficient.
You gotta be self-sufficient.
You on fire today. And you know what's really funny? That what you said about how we want to set up businesses in other communities.
Yes.
Think about our mentality. We want to get some money, get paid, and we quick to move up and move out instead of move up and fix where we at.
And stay in.
Even if you move up and move out, move up, move out, and give back. But that doesn't happen. We move up, we move out and we forget about
absolutely
the journey that we went through to help each other. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I get on a lot of my players a lot. I'm like, hey, what you going to do when you get pro? Oh, I'm going to go move out. I'm going to buy my mother a house. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. I'm like, now, you know, these shoes that coach helped you get, I'm going to need you to come back and help the next young guy get some shoes and get a chance to play and get a chance to get out the street. I'm going to need you to give back. That's what's more important for me, for you, when you get paid, if that was to happen. Even if you don't go become a pro, you get a job, you get your education, I'm going to need you to come and make sure we fix this, because you see in the gym.
Community.
Yes.
Yeah.
You gotta keep going.
Teach community.
Exactly.
That's one of the things that we're not doing. We have to teach community. We have to teach Black love.
Yes.
Because no one will teach it, because no one loves Black people. Let's be clear. So we have to teach all of this. And young people, they see every day, go out and buy, go out and get, to be consumers, but they have to learn how to be generators.
Yes. Yes. That's very important.
It's very important.
I think Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I think he's going to be in Baltimore the 25th, I believe. He always says we have to be poised. We have to be producers. P, O for owners, I for investors. And here's the real important part, S, we got to save. We got to learn how to save. And the last one is entrepreneurs. So I always teach that as well. Man, you being poised today? Little kid be like, I'm working on it, coach. I did save this, or I got my business plan going, or, you know, my mom's looking at. So at least they know, you know, little gems that they kind of stick to. But Black people need to learn that we need to be poised. We have to produce something. We have to own something. We got to start investing in ourselves, which is very important. Not just about the stocks and the bonds, but in the business. We got to invest in us. That's the number one and most crucial thing we teach at Real Truth and Power. Invest in yourself. You know, what do you need to do to be successful? If you want to be a Rasta and just live life out in the wilderness, God bless you. But let's put you in the best spot to do that. But whatever you want to be, we want to get the best out of you. And you have to be able to invest in yourself for the longevity of it. And that's another thing, when you talk about investing, sorry to cut you off, that I just really wanted to get out, is that we got to start looking at our children, generations past. And, you know, I'm learning late. I'm pushing 50. I'm learning late. I had a conversation with my mother. And when I had this conversation, she kind of felt bad because her parents couldn't leave her something. So as generations come by, we learn that in our train of thought as Black people, we think the harder we work, the more we're going to be successful. But if you look at the other European cultures, the more help they give each other, the more they're successful. So now, we got to start looking at, man, when I pass, can I leave some life insurance so we can invest in something? Am I going to leave something for them? If I can't leave something, maybe I can help while I'm living. It's called a living inheritance, where I can help you pay your bills or something, help you maybe get your first starter house. We just got to start being more inclined to help each other. You remember back in the day, Black people, you know, it might be your uncle and my mom living together and our cousins all living together till we go and get out. Now you only see that from maybe the Mexican culture or Hispanic culture. They're living in those.
Oh, when somebody get put out, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, so, only when you're getting put out, you're going back and living with somebody. Because this culture that we live in is a selfish culture. It teaches you independence when no one's independent but you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because the culture that the people who set that up, they are interdependent on each other.
Yes.
So they teach you independent.
Yes.
And so you have this thought process that I got to have mine. But that is the worst space you can be in, because there's no space for me.
And
it's only space for us.
It took me just recently to learn that, because I'm going on. I'm like, man, I need to do better. I need to do better. I need to do better. And then I read this book, and then I'm talking to my mom, and she's like, well, you're doing fine. I didn't have this set up for you. I didn't even know about it because my parents didn't know to teach me about it. So she's pretty much saying, forget what you can and can't do. You got a chance to get your kids right for your grandkids.
Yeah.
So, you know, we got to just start teaching that, you know, and I think that's real important for us to survive as a race.
Well, you know what, Brother Everett, a lot of times too, I don't want to beat us up because we came from terror. We were terrorized.
That's true.
So there's not a people on earth who was just as terrorized and chattel slavery as we have.
That's right.
Come back in 4 generations. It's never happened. It's never happened in the history of man.
That's right.
And this is why we're so scary, because we're able to pick up the pieces when nobody else would be able to pick up this piece. You know, and I'm not saying this to attack anyone, but if you even look at the American Indian, they're still in a space, you know, from being terrorized also. But the comeback of the African is we don't play. We keep coming.
We're too powerful.
We're too powerful. We're the progenitor gene, bro.
Yes, and once you realize that and you start to own it, it makes you understand a lot of things differently. And I think that is a major thing in our community, that we talk it, but we don't understand it and own it. Like, you know what? I'm struggling. I'm going through a lot of this or that, but goddamn, I'm a black man. I'm gonna be all right. Let me just hang in here. You know what I'm saying? Let me just hang in here and be strong. I'm gonna be okay. I know I can overcome it. Yeah. And we're so used to doing that sometimes that we also forget that, you know, while I'm struggling, or because I struggle, my man might be struggling too. You know, let me help him up. He may not be able to pay me back, so I'm gonna give him what I can just to help him out. You know, we don't do that as well anymore. So but yeah, that was powerful what you said. We came from so much. It's so much psychological damage. Terror. But we still here.
We're still here. And that's very scary to a group that set out to annihilate you. You know, and that you continue, and now your demographics is getting ready to eat theirs up.
Yes,
that is where we are as a people. But when I always tell people, nobody fights this hard to keep a group of people down that can't get up.
Without a doubt,
They do it. They don't spend this much time on a group that couldn't get up.
That's why it's called a conspiracy.
You got to know your power.
Yeah, you got to know.
You got to know. You know. So okay. So I knew we was on the same page there.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I just wanted the people to hear it.
Yes, they need to. That's very important. You know what I'm saying? It's very important. It's very important.
I love this building with a black man, strong black man, because I can definitely get from you what I can't get from a woman. You know, it's always good for a black woman to be able to build with a black man
it's important.
Who knows himself.
Right.
You know, that's important, because, you know, we build with black men all the time, but a lot of they're lost, just like a lot of black women are lost. So to hear, you know, your love for black people, your love for black children, and your want to make our community better, that's what we need in our black men.
Right.
And that's what's going to make us go forward, because you guys are like it's the backbone. And that's why we're so fractured. It's because they went after that first.
Yes, without a doubt.
You know, and it's fractured our community. And now I just read on Facebook, 2 women killed in the last 24 hours. One shot in the head.
What?
I'm like, what? How are we killing? How are we shooting women?
You know what? It's really funny, especially in Baltimore. This year, a lot of sisters have been getting shot.
Let me tell you,
it's really disturbing.
Ever in the history of Baltimore.
That's crazy.
More black women died than the history of Baltimore as a place in the world.
That's crazy.
Last year, during a pandemic. Now,
yes.
We're not talking about when we're out and about. We're talking about a pandemic.
That's crazy. You can't make this up. It's crazy.
You can't make this up. And drugs is a problem. Understand that this fentanyl and this type of drug that's on the street that's taking people out by the thousands, that's a problem too. We just have a lot of multi-layered issues, but it starts with trauma. Like we said, if you fix the trauma, you don't need the drug.
It starts with trauma. You're right. You don't need the drug. And that, you know, when you're down, you look for a lot of ways to seek that medication to soothe a lot of pain. But, you know, we got to start loving each other and building each other up. That starts right there. One of our major mottos in the UNIA is one God. So you could be a Muslim, you could be a Catholic, you could be an atheist. As long as you believe in a form of God that's a supreme high being that got us here collectively, because we only really gonna say we got one to stay together, but one God, one aim, and one destiny. That's a Marcus. That's something that he left us, that we got us a one God, one aim, one destiny, and we ended with race first. So we all got to collectively stop all of this. Well, I'm not messing with you because you a Hebrew Israelite, or you are a Muslim, or I'm a Catholic, I'm Baptist, or I'm Methodist. Man, look, one. You know, let's get together, get on one accord, so we can get our aims together, you know, and then go for the destiny. You know what I'm saying? Building ourselves up and freeing us mentally. And you know, it's very important. We fight each other so much, and we break each other down so much. So that actually adds to, that's because of the trauma, but it actually adds to it.
Yeah. We become so divisive in these structures that are set up for division. Religion, all of these different religion sects, all of these different things, our neighborhoods, all of these different hierarchies that America creates is for division. It's for divisive techniques, and it works. It keeps us apart.
Right. Exactly.
We continue to put things in place that has nothing to do with humanity.
That's right.
You know, and so we really got to look past. I love the one thing. It doesn't matter who you spiritually say who's your maker, but you're still Black. How about that?
Yeah, I believe Marcus Garvey said God is the intelligence of the universe. You can't go wrong there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so he really broke that down. He was like, you know, it's the intelligence of life and how things are created, the universe. So when you start thinking of it that way, you know, it's just really crazy how we get into kind of more, and even in Africa a lot, how we get tribal. It seems like it's our people, you know, we got to have a clique or a set. I mean, it could even go from, man, I'm from Baltimore. We get in college back in the day. I was in college. Shout out to UMEF. I was in college. You know, it took a minute when you were freshmen, be Baltimore, DC, Philly, New York. As you get to juniors and seniors, that's what the young boys do. We all won because we made it through all of the fighting and stuff. But it's just funny how culturally, I think
that's our culture, the tribal thing.
Yeah, and that's something that we got to start to break too. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we got to break too.
And if we are in tribes, it needs to be tribal. We're moving towards a goal. You can have, you know, it could be all 50 people with a limp, but if they want to be great Black people with a limp, then bring the limping tribe on. You get right. We could be in tribes, but we got to have one movement.
Exactly.
And that's what we don't have.
You said it best.
Yeah, and that's what we don't have, and that's what keeps us splintered. You know what I mean?
You hit it right on the button.
All right, you guys having an event, bro? Y'all got something to say. Wait a minute, let's get this on camera before we even start to talk. Got my space together, bro. Am I coming out there?
You are already added to the list of vendors. Of course, I told you I got you covered.
We coming out there.
It's gonna be nice. We're gonna have some nice music, some Black-owned vendors. We should be there with our UNIA table, and I believe we're gonna have one of our Black Cross nurses out there providing some health tips. We got Divas on call, our lady president. I have her business out there, and she has some phenomenal healthy food. We got some Jamaican food out there, and
excellent.
A lot of cultural businesses out there. So we don't want to have too many. We just want enough Black-owned businesses for some people to come out and support. And the name of the event is called Peace and Unity, and that's our theme. We're going to be providing, you know, information about how we can just come together as a Black race. So definitely, it's at the YNOT Lot. I believe it's 4 North Avenue, but it's on North and Charles Street. So everybody in Baltimore City, come on through. You know, we'll be up there. Everything will be nice. You know, nobody has to worry about watching her back. And you'll be out there too. Promote BlaKBoXX Radio.
We out there. So when is it? So it's Saturday the 25th.
Saturday the 25th, 1 to 7, I believe. 1 to 7. 1 to 7.
And it's at the YNOT Lot. Let me tell you, if you go to North Avenue in Charles, you can't miss it.
Can't miss it.
It's on your left, it's on your right, it's up top. You see people out there. It's a very communal lot.
Yeah.
So it's right there on the corner. And so you're gonna have Black vendors.
Black vendors, have a couple of speakers. We're going to have live entertainment, some music. So, you know, it's going to be nice. Just come on out. Even if you don't want to buy anything, come on out, get a little literature, shake your tail a little bit, have some fun. And, you know, you'll be around Black people loving each other. And I think that's what we have to see. A lot of times when we do events, and we always look at the events that go wrong, the party that went wrong, but sometimes we don't look at all of these events and just say, yo, these Black people are doing some nice events like the Race First rally, and they're bringing a lot of people together. So no matter how big or how small, just know that there's more positive things out here than just violence in our community. And, you know, we got to let people know that.
And it's a free event. Listen.
Free.
Free. Zero. Come
$0.
And just at the YNOT Lot Saturday. Saturday. Yeah,
Saturday, yeah.
25th. Come on out from 1 to 7. It's a free event. Come and be around and be communal with other Black people. Get some literature. Right. Let's build. Let's be a better community. Let's come out and come together and love on each other.
That's right. We're going to have a lot of vendors out there. We'll be out there if anybody needs some flags, you know. And I want to say this, every Black person should have a flag. We got some cheap ones too that are nice you can put in your home. That flag is very important, that red, black, and green. You know, the red is the blood that runs through us and the blood we lost fighting for our land. You know, the black is our people and the green is the land that they've been stealing from us. So, you know, to bring that back to fruition and always have that there. I got a big flag in my yard. I know the neighbors be looking like, what's going on with this brother? But I got to let everybody know. Our President General always says, you know, wear your colors. You know, let them know you're a UNIA member. Let them know you're Garvey. Let them know you love Black people. So they know when they see you, know.
That's right.
That's what's up with this brother with the red, black, and green. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. We love Black people. So we have a lot of stuff like that for them to get. And it's just going to be a nice, cool event. Definitely come out.
Listen, y'all should come out and understand that the people, there's no such people who don't have they got to have a flag. Yes, without a doubt. Every group of people have a flag.
Yes, a lot of people don't know the history of the flag. There's a pledge to the flag. And this is why I always tell people when they're in other organizations, I'm not saying come to our organization, but I'm always saying, hey, you're already a member. We have classes where you can learn. Not only is there a flag that we created, there's 2 pledges, but it's one Marcus Garvey, I believe his wife made as well, but there's a pledge to the flag. And there's the Ethiopian anthem, a national anthem to that flag. So a lot of people don't even know that, as well as the Constitution and stuff. So when they're flying it, I like to remind them. I think I mentioned that at the Race First rally. And not to be long-winded, but our pledge starts off real simple. I commit my body, mind, and spirit to the protection, defense, and security of the red, black, and green. So we're not playing. We're not playing. You know, you got to really be all in. And also talks about making sure my descendants learn this information. You know, so, you know, a lot of people that's flying the flags, I just urge you, look, if you're in town, come on out, talk to one of our brothers from the UNIA, get some information and history on the flag and the anthem. A Minister of Information has just hit me with some powerful information about where the anthem came from. And it was pretty much so powerful about a young lady getting raped, cut into pieces, and it was just real powerful. Wow. And I didn't even know that. So I didn't, when he was telling me that, I didn't even know it. And so it's a lot of things that we all need to learn that, you know, you build with a UNIA brother, you know, just come on out and talk to us. We ain't trying to recruit you or anything. We just trying to build with you and, you know, love you and build up our community, man. That's all it's about.
It is. And I've been to y'all events. And I know it's not about recruitment. It's about Black love.
That's right. Without a doubt.
And a lot of times it's very hard for us to accept that because of our own trauma. So we rather be entertained. And that's why in an event, you got to have music. You got to have all these other things to pull the people.
There you go.
The information. But the information is so important. And we got to be more information forward. You know, that's what we're doing at Black Box Radio. We want you to be information forward. Entertainment is beautiful. But information is what builds you as a person. Sure.
It's funny you said that, though. My favorite rapper, the reason I got the album was called Criminal Minded.
Oh.
Boogie Down Productions, they had guns out on the album. I'm like, yo.
bbRSpoTLighT.
I said, yo, I got to go get these dudes the hard. I came back like, yo, this dude's talking about knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. That's his name. I thought, you know, he's talking about, you know, elementary and then my philosophy.
Mathematics.
So, you know, and I remember him saying we had to use the guns to reel you in. So we got some nice DJs to reel you in. Come on out, dance. And if you learn something, you learn something. If you don't, you don't. But at least when you come to the event, you're going to support somebody, get something to eat, you know, listen to some music and just be happy to be around Black people. That's all that matters to us. Yeah.
If we could just get us to just have more empathy for each other.
That's right.
And just look at each other in a way that we can build together, even people at the lowest denominator, that we can, if this event can change how we treat each other.
Exactly.
That's just what we need. Just the smallest movement, because the violence is going on around in many cities, not only just Baltimore, many cities, the country where my mother lives, the violence amongst poor people, white, Black, all people, it's sickening. You know, it's a self-annihilation that's really sickening. And we got to do better. As you know, and the only thing I'm worried about is Black people. I'm not worried about, I got to worry about my people. You know,
you have to.
Yeah, everybody can worry about their people, but I'm talking about Black people.
Because we worry about, Black people worry about everybody, but we don't worry about themselves. Yeah, that's a major thing right there. We worried about, you know, we quick to jump out and defend so many of these other causes, but we always get in the back end of the stick. Once we help them out, they move on without us.
Yeah, I know.
So, you know,
I was telling somebody, it was like BIPOC, you know, like people of color. I said, but when Black people are suffering, no one says people of color. No one sells people of color. They say Black people.
Right.
But when it's to share the wealth and to share some of the good things that come down from oppression, then it's people of color, you know, and how we dilute things. But when everybody's getting the blues, it's Black people getting it. That's so right. We got to be more intentional about our movement and our people. That's just it. And it's not to hurt anybody else. It's just so you can grow and you can stay and be vital. That's it.
We have to do that because everybody else does it. I mean, we're the only ones that don't say race first. Every other culture says race first. They put themselves first. They build their own schemes up, and they put in laws and systems to hold Black people back. But we still loving the Constitution that's here in America, even though those laws was meant to hold us back. We still trying to work with everybody. Yep. And everybody ain't trying to work with us. You know what I'm saying? We quick to want to move out of our neighborhoods to neighborhoods where they don't want us. You know what I'm saying? They make it harder for us to move into those neighborhoods. They make the interest rates harder. You know what I'm saying? They make our down payments harder. We're still trying to get in instead of building up our own and loving each other and fixing our problems and fixing our playgrounds and fixing our schools. And, you know, that's real important. And more importantly, I mean, quid pro quo, demanding things from these people we voting for. You know what I'm saying? You know,
politics is important. I tell people you can't change things on the street if policy is there. You got to change policy too.
That's right. Dr. Claus said race is like not what you think color is, actual race, like a track meet for political power, educational power, economic power. He said if we was a team, Black people be on the bench. We be losing the race so bad. He said we so far behind. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow, that makes sense. Race is like a race for economic, political power. It's like, but we trying to work out instead of uniting and making a stand for something. You know what I mean? So that's very important that we start uniting and starting to build and fix the things that we have and fix our damage that we can't support each other, can't fight for each other. Race first is not a bad thing. It's saying I love my people and I just want us to do better. It's not hating on anybody. We're not racist. We just love Black people unconditionally. And that's what it matters.
And love don't have an ism.
That's right.
Love don't have an ism. And I never see a zebra connect with lions. They love zebras.
That's right.
What is wrong with y'all?
That's right.
when you see a pack of dogs, they ain't going to hang with a pack of lions. They hanging with a pack of dogs.
That's right.
It's not a bad thing. It is understanding what's unique and have the same lived experience and building upon that and building out with culture and community and collectivity. What is wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. So, you know, I wanted you to be right after I had BlaKCommunity Radio has 2 years in, because it's important to always stress Black. The box in the radio is a lot, but it's Black people, Black thing, Black conversation, Black building.
That's right.
That's what's important, you know, and that's what we set out to do. And it's important to have this unity conversation because we have to unite. And I wanted it to be with a male, you know, that we could build in a way. Because, you know, us females, we get together because we magic.
That's right.
And we're going to build something. But, you know, it's always...
Sisters get moving. I see Sister Charlene Foster and Rock Foster in the
that's
chat.
a powerful system. All power right there.
One of our members, and you know, I always tell the brothers, and they be like, "Uh-oh, the sister." I said, "Look, we get started going, but once we get the sisters involved, they take charge. Just fall back and follow the lead. You know what I mean? We got some strong sisters, and you know that's about building and working with each other. It's not about your ego. Let that queen do what she did." And then when she needs you, she'll call you, and you just lift her up and let's keep it moving, you know. So, you know,
but if we look at the history of the African queens, were amazing in our history. In
yes,
I mean, let's Nefertiti and Zenga. We could talk about amazing queen, and men had no problem with Black women being queens. We came around Europeans and their fragileness and their patriarchal societies, and now we have this women male thing. But that's not an African thing.
Not at all. Not at all. And people have to understand that culturally, and it was a book I read, The Creation of Whiteness. I believe that was the name of it. And how they talk about before slavery, you know, when white people and Black people were indentured servants and stuff like that, how, you know, it was only a few amount of females here. And the white women would rather be with a Black slave than the white master. So a lot of that stuff started to happen when he had to change laws, because if the white woman was in power and married a Black man, then the Black man would have that land, and you know, so forth. So he was like, I gotta not only take away the power of the Black man, I gotta take away the power of the woman so I could dominate. And unfortunately, Black people looking up to master, we lost a train of thought to empower our women. You know what I'm saying? And then they push the music on us where we call our women the bees and the hoes, and how they're not nothing but strippers and things like that, that we forget about the Lauryn Hills, the powerful sisters that could rap but had class and grace with them. You know, we forget about the MC Lights and those sisters. So the Queen Latifahs had a name as Queen Latifah that was Afrocentric. We don't see a lot of that anymore. So I don't hate on the sisters for doing what they do, but you know, what I'm trying to say is the demoralization of us queens, you know, and the way we treat our women and the way women, Black men and Black women look at each other. That's not culturally how we do things. We got to get back to that. We forget about that. Even in Africa, they do. They've been so colonized that they don't even know.
Absolutely. You know, there's a if you really read history and we want to emulate history, we'll see that this is not the way the African moves. And we got to find a way to come back together and not worry so much about gender and worry about power.
Without a doubt.
And power is unity. And if a Black woman can support a man and he can bring more power, then we support him. And if a Black woman is powerful, then we got to support her too.
That's right.
And it's not a whole lot to that.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think that, you know, through slavery and everything, the Black man has been kicked down worse than anybody. And the Black woman was out there sometimes having to survive on her own. And that created a lot of tension, you know, even with the welfare. You can't have a Black man. You can't have a man in a home and get help from the government.
But you gotta leave to the system. The system now comes in and adds division.
Exactly.
You have a man in the house. You can't make this amount of money. So if a man's there and y'all together making money, you can't get these services. All of this is baked in stuff so the power structure can keep us fighting. Without a doubt.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It is. Listen, one thing you cannot, if you know you're not superior, you better be able to have your hands and make the rules.
That's right.
I tell people all the time, the people who who have all the rules, they're the ones that are the weakest.
You're right. You know, before I go, Queen, I want to tell this story. I always tell this when I'm speaking, like at business events and stuff, and they always ask if they ask me to speak. And we talk about entrepreneurship. And they was like, and I always tell a story about how I was right before I was about to get married. I believe like a week. My company, they got sold. And I'm living in Baltimore. They said in order for you to keep your job, you have to go to DC. Now, if they match your pay and you say, I'm not going to DC, you don't get unemployment. But that's not the reason I started my business. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try. I'm going to make it happen. I got a job. You know, I'm about to get married. I got kids, you know, young family. This is just not the right time. I don't even want to go home and tell my wife, how'd the day go? You got the down payment for the wedding? I'm about to lose my job. But the drastic part was I was working for a medical company. I was going to school. And a white female came up to me and was like, Everett, I want to thank you. You motivated me. I'm going back to school. Did you get your schedule? And I looked at us like they told me I couldn't go to school. She said, that's real weird because they're allowing me to go and you were going before me. And that part hurt so bad that I would wake up every morning and sit on the bed like I don't want to go to work. I was so mentally messed up. My wife be like, why don't you quit? I'm like, I can't quit. We got kids. We just got married, you know. That part is when I was like, I'm never going to allow something like that to control my life again. If my business fails, I fail. But I'm not going to put myself or my self-wealth, my worth in the hands of another person, especially if he's not a Black person. And so I just starting businesses and finally got my cleaning business going. And it's always trying to start a business and hire somebody or something like that. And I want to say that because those systems and the way they do things is still there. No matter how far you think you move up that ladder, they can chop you down and control you in a minute. And the only way for us to be powerful, feel powerful, no matter how rich and no matter how poor, is to be independent, self-sufficient. So I'd rather be making a little bit of money and know that I'm on my own and it's going to be a struggle, but I'm going to be okay, than have to worry about going to work, doing all the work while the white person that just got hired makes more than me, and I know his job more than him. You see that those are the little things that we can't forget. And that's why it's real important for us to unite and start putting systems and schooling in place to hire each other. I just wanted to tell that because sometimes I forget to leave out that part about the school. I get into the talk about how I felt about, man, I almost lost my job. And so I said that'll never happen again. But the reality of it was that wasn't it. It was when I got slapped and spit in the face because I was trying to better myself. And they just said, no, you can't go. This sister can go and she's white. So forget you. And that's something that we've been hit with a lot. And so it's time. It's just time now. The time is now for us to get ourselves together and push each other. And like you said, if we got stepped on the toes and hurt a couple of feelings, that's okay. This is love. We can't come soft with love. Love is really hard. It ain't soft. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's another thing. People think, I love you. I'm saying love. That means you soft. No, we hard. We got to be tough to have love. Yeah. Because you're the more loving and caring you are, the more strong you have to be because people try to take advantage of it. And Absolutely. So when you loving Black people, it's a tough mission, but we just got to keep thriving. So I just had to get that across.
Well, bro, I like that. That's a great story. And it's the story of the African in these Americas. Not did it just happen to you, it's happening now. It's going to happen tomorrow because it's baked in the system. That certain people will go forward and other people will always work or be oppressed by the system. That's why it's a system. So the application of that system, though, can only be broken by what we're talking about. It's called unity. Yes. And becoming your own force where the system has to now mesh to you and you don't mesh to it.
I said, that's right.
And that's the issues. That's what we can't get. And then making sure, because that's where the power lies. The power isn't in Washington and all these people. It's with the people. And if the people knew how powerful they are, you could stop this system tomorrow. But we're so vested in what we want and the things that we have and all of these embellishments, we don't understand the real power. And the real power is everybody saying, no, I'm not doing that no more. I bet they come to the table.
Oh, without a doubt. All that money, all that Black, you know what? What? All that money in the Black community, they better, that's why they got Martin Luther King once he figured that out. Yeah. What he said, absolutely. I was sending my people into a burning building, I believe the phrase was. Yeah. But now we're going to focus on getting our economics together. They're like, oh, no, you got to go now. No. Yeah, you got to go.
A capitalistic system can't have people who don't pay into it. And we're the biggest payers.
Without a doubt.
So why are they going to let somebody pull us out of their system? It's not happening.
Yeah, my man sells these handbags, and I swear to God, they were the same handbag. One was like a no-name handbag that looked nice. It was better than the handbag he had. He sells original stuff too. Maybe, I don't know about bags, but Gucci, let's say Gucci.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's how much for this 30? This is better than that. He said, man, our people just going for the name. Watch. And so everybody was loving this bag, but they all grabbed the Gucci bag. That's the psychology of our people, the mentality not to know how to use money right, not to value ourselves and to value the best thing for us. We chasing. We chasing a dream that's not really a good dream. We need to start chasing reality and uplifting and focusing on building and making money and doing the right thing. Don't get me wrong. Work hard, play hard. I ain't mad at you. You know what I'm saying? You deserve to find the things in life, get it. Like I say, every now and then I get a pair of Jordans to communicate with the kids. But, there's also an aspect of these shoes that are RBG. They okay too. They got the gel cushion and the foam cushion to feel just like the Jordans,
I hear you, but that's one communication that Jordan ain't getting from me.
Well, with basketball, I get a lot of free shoes. So
yeah, I get it. You're in another world, but he's not getting no $200 from me. No, I'm not communicating nothing.
Yeah.
So and it's not, I'm just not doing it. That's not getting. It's not happening. But anyway, listen, you said it all. You said some beautiful stuff. I want you to say your event again on this weekend, so people can come out. Tell them about what's going on Saturday.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much again for having me on your platform. It's just been a blessing. Shout out to the UNIA Barker Clark. We are having a nice and powerful event at the YNOT Lot. I believe it is 4 West North Avenue, but it's on North and Charles Street. If you're in Baltimore, Maryland, come on out Saturday, 1 to 7. We're going to have some Black-owned vendors. We're going to have food out there, some African cultural stuff being sold, some nice vendors passing out powerful information, ceasefire information. You'll be out there, and it's just going to be a blessing. You're going to have a good time and fellowship with some loving Black people. You cannot miss this event. It's going to be a blessing.
Love it. Listen, BlaKBoXX Radio's in the house. We're going to be there. We're going to do some community stuff. So listen, I really appreciate you, Brother E. I knew you was going to bring the tea. That's why I put it out today. I knew you was going to bring it. So
I'm nervous. You do your thing. You got me nervous. So hopefully I ain't let you down in your audience.
You got me nervous. You're a professional at this. So I really appreciate that. And, we had Sister Charlene always. I got to get that sister on mic. That's a power pack. I'm telling you, she always in the building. That's my girl.
She don't hold no punches. That's for sure. And we need that. We need that.
Yeah, that sister me got to build. She's a strong. She's a warrior for the community for sure.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, she always shows up. But we appreciate you. We thank you for coming through. Saturday, we're gonna have a good time and fellowship with you and UNIA. I'm gonna meet some folk. I'm very excited. I'll see you on Saturday.
All right. Thank you again so much. You guys have a blessed day.
We got to do our boxed up and down. Let's get them deuces. That's right. Don't leave. You stay here. I'm going to end the broadcast.
I got you. All right.
Peace out, family.